Hello everyone, welcome to Triple T Thursday. That is tips, tricks, tutorials. I am your host coming at you, Shelly, also known as Shelly Saves today. I'm glad to be here with you. I want to talk to you all about a specific subject that I've been thinking about for a while, and that is, of course, do you have to have a niche on YouTube? The problem with picking a niche, what people get incorrect about having a niche, and I thought that that would be something fun to chat about with you all. So if you're interested in that, then keep on watching, and if you want to chime in, have questions, have thoughts, opinions, I would expect no less. I want you to share them with the group, okay? Now, before we get into that, we have to get into the ever important question of what's in your cup today? What's in my cup today? I have two things I have to tell you. One, look at this. We have this personalized little Stanley, right? I think you all remember the debacle of trying to get my personalized Stanley. But second, I want to show you all this. Look at this. Look at this. So for those of y'all who, like to have your phone with you as you do or whatnot, check this out. Check this out. This little guy right here has, it's getting closer, MagSafe on it so that you can just, wait for it. Would you like to be able to, and it rotates. So if you want to be able to sit there and, at the gym, film yourself, or if you want to whatever else, it's pretty cool. So, and also, not that anybody asked, I'm going to share with y'all soon one of my favorite new phone stands that I have. I mean, I love this one too, but there's now a little tripod-y one that has the MagSafe on it, and it's so much better than dealing with the clamps. Of course, it's by E Louisa, so I want to share that with y'all too, because really like it. The only thing that I wish is that had a rechargeable battery versus one that has one that you have to keep replacing, but I digress. So what's inside the cup though is sparkling ice. Sparkling ice. It is the strawberry lemonade flavor. And also to do with that, I lost the battle with the external nugget ice maker in my house, and my husband put a kibosh on that. He said no because it's too loud, and I did it because originally our ice maker on our freezer stopped working, but it has come back to life, so I will be returning but I did enjoy that little crunchy ice while I had it. So the last of the crunchy ice and the strawberry and lemonade. What's in your cup today though? Let me know. Poland Springs water, of course. Hello, Adam's Exploits. And then Tish is here, and she says, howdy, y'all. Howdy, y'all. Great to have you here. Thanks for hanging out with me. What's in your cup today, Tish? So, let's chat. One of the problems, okay, with having a niche on YouTube, which many YouTube people are going to tell you that you should have. Now, I can agree and disagree because I like to be contrarian just for the funsies of it all, but it did have to chill out. Here's the deal. A lot of people say that in the beginning because it's a lot easier to say whatever you think that you could really talk about for a long amount of time because you're not going to get bored making the videos, then you should talk about that. But as we all know, and as I have demonstrated, a lot of the time we are complex individuals. We have lots of thoughts. Some of them aren't supposed to come outside. They're not supposed to be, given their outside voice. Sometimes they are, but there are lots of things that a lot of people are interested in. Now, the problem with that is that, one, when you get on YouTube, most people at the very beginning have no idea who you are, don't care who you are, and don't care about you as this complete whole person. And a lot of what YouTube people out there are teaching are go after search, go after specific questions, go after a topic and deep dive into it. And that is because, one, it's much easier to do that and say, here is your roadmap, go achieve this, versus having to go into something that takes a lot more thought and a lot more like creative nuance. It's a lot easier to just say, let's stick to one topic. Herein lies some of the problem, okay? One, you can run the risk of then exhausting said topic, because many of the mistakes that are going to happen, here's the first one, is that people think that to be a niche, it means to dial down to a specific topic. Whereas I like to tell people a niche might be more so about dialing down to a type of group of people that you want to speak to. So case in point, I went so far down the rabbit hole and road of let's make iMovie tutorials. Let's make iMovie tutorials. That if I went outside of that kind of bumper lane guidance of iMovie tutorials, then, well, one, people wouldn't watch it and it wasn't going to appeal. And it was also harder for YouTube to figure out what is this video and channel and content going to be about. Here's someone who's given us 10 videos in a row about a specific type of topic. Now they're branching it out and I don't even know who to show this video to. And then the next video comes out and it's on a completely different topic, right? And they're like, we're just going to chill with the recommendations until like maybe someone is searching for that exact term or something like that. Like, you know, they're just like, we're not sure what to do with you. So they don't do anything with you. And then people are always complaining about, oh, the algorithm hates me, which it's not necessarily true. But the algorithm can't help you, and a lot of the time they have no idea what's going on. Okay, let's just also put that out there. So, one, we run the risk of going too far down a specific topic. So, my case in point is going to be iMovie tutorials. Someone else that we know and love in this space is also going to be like Daniel Batal. He made a ton of videos around DaVinci, right? But before that, it was Filmora. And so the problem with making 50 videos with Filmora, which it could lead to a brand deal, which he had one, which is amazing, which is a great way to have a partnership and have consistent income and make then topics and videos that people can understand what to expect. But what if one day Filmora does something stupid to their own audience and then people don't want to be associated with them anymore? Case in point, that happened, right? And then all of a sudden, he then switched over to a new program, and you could have some of his audience be like, hey, I don't like this fact that you used to make all these videos about this one software and I bought it and now you have new software and I'm not, I have to buy a new software, or, you know, I have to do this all and I have to learn all over again. Whereas, let's say, if you were talking about, you know, video creators and filmmakers and YouTubers and how we use video to help tell our story as a medium to be making YouTube videos, then perhaps it's a little bit different of a person and group of people that we're speaking to, right? So for right now, we're saying only people who wanted to talk about Filmora. These are my people, these are my people, this is my topic. So you think the niche is Filmora, right? But then we were like, wait, we're not going to talk about Filmora, we're going to talk about DaVinci. And then it was, my niche is DaVinci. But in actuality, the niche is people who are using software to make videos so that they can express themselves on YouTube, correct? So by actually reframing how we want to look at who our niche group of people that we're talking to is, we can then branch out a little bit from the topic of the one topic or niche that we have. So if we were to talk about, let's say, D. Niman, if he spent all of his time only talking about CapCut, because it is a mobile video editing software that you have on your phone, right? So he could do, and I'm sure there are channels out there that will do this, 50 to 100 tutorials on CapCut, how to do anything in CapCut, right? Just like I did how to do any specific one skill inside of either Final Cut Pro or iMovie. But at the end of the day, what he really wants to do is talk about people who are using their phones to make YouTube videos. And that means they might use CapCut, they might use InShot, they might use Touch Retouch, they might use VLLO, they might use iMovie, right? So now, instead of topic heavy niche, which is CapCut tutorials, we have a group of people that he wants to talk to, which is mobile video creators using software or apps on their phone to create YouTube videos. And those YouTube videos, maybe they're interested in how to get more views or how to do, you know, a certain trick. And you're still being able to coexist within this niche group of people, even though it's no longer on this niche topic matter, which was CapCut tutorials. So hopefully that makes sense. Can I get a, that makes sense to me, or some kind of pink emoji? I don't think there's that many pink emojis, but I just felt like saying that, okay? Can I get a pink emoji or that makes sense in the comments? So that is one of the first mistakes that people make, is that they believe that a niche means it has to be topic related instead of group of people related. So if we take D and we say instead of just CapCut tutorials, it's people who are using their mobile phones to, you know, get better at YouTube, we've really expanded upon that group of people and things that he can talk about, but a little bit more leeway as well. So, which I think is a much better way to think of it. Now, what happens if we go too far the other way and we go with just topic specific, whether it's CapCut tutorial? What if one day there's no longer a free version of CapCut? Or what if one day CapCut gets shut down because it's part of TikTok and it's, they shut down that app as well? Or what if one day, the app ceases to exist, right? That is also the problem that I see with some of the channels that I've seen out there, like creating with Canva or something like that. What if Canva goes completely batshit crazy and completely dismembers their entire affiliate oh, they did that already. And how many people were like, no, you don't get tutorials anymore about Canva because you guys changed the rules about like how often we have to post these videos and what we can talk about and all these like weird things that they did to their affiliates, which is still messed up. I remember I did a whole Twitter like, what are you doing? Like, I don't even make any money with Canva and I'm pissed. I can't even imagine the people who make a lot of money. But so what if Canva is doing this and you made all of your money off of Canva tutorials? And you're like, well, I mean, I guess I could continue to keep talking about Canva, but like a lot of my audience hates them right now because they're being jerks or something. You know what I mean? So that is another issue with going too far down into a niche, going topic or software specific product, like there's the ClickUp or Notion or, other programs. And what happens if those companies like stop existing? What if they, are taken off the market? Or what if you can no longer get them on certain platforms? Like you would have to pivot and like either change your content or like lose a significant chunk of revenue because a whole bunch of your audience wouldn't be able to use it anymore. So that's one of the problems with going too niche specific on a like topic or service or other that is a company that you have no part in. Jennifer is still doing Canva tutorials. Which Jennifer? Which Jennifer are we talking about? Oh, good. We got a pink hand wavy and a pink flower. Yay. It actually says pink hand waving, so I'll show you. Pink hand waving, hand pink waving. And then this one is, there's a pink flower. So I'm not sure which Jennifer, but hopefully the point still remains. Now, once we talk about this, again, one of the reasons why people are always like, yeah, absolutely go after this type of thing is because it's also a lot easier for a YouTube coach, consultant, anyone in that creator's corner. Do I know them? I don't know. I was just like making up channel names as an example, but if it's actual real channel, there you go. But I was saying that one of the problems when you go after one of those kind of niche markets and then you become known as the blank person, like I was the subscribe button girl, when you want to pivot and do something else, the audience change can, if it's too abrupt, if it's too far outside of whatever, it can be swift and unkind, I guess people would say. And so a lot of people will do some sort of major pivot and then they will crash and burn on some of these new videos and then think, oh, my audience isn't interested in this or it's going to tank. So I'm going to go back to something safe and confuse people and go back to something that they think is going to do well and perform well on their channel, usually back in their old niche. And so you've got now a confused audience, a confused algorithm, and you are confused because you don't know a lot of the time, is it that they don't want to watch this stuff or is it that it's not being served to the right people or all of the things, right? So I do advise, and when you want to go into a specific type of thing and you want to make some sort of change, it should never be so drastic that someone literally gets whiplash and then is like angry about it. But it can be gradual where you try and sneak in some of the new types of topics that you want to talk about. So if you are a tutorial channel, but what you really want to do is vlogs, let's say, maybe what you start doing is teaching video editing with vlog footage, right? And then having a separate vlog where you use that footage and then you break down how you were able to achieve some effect, maybe. Or maybe there's some sort of thing where you really want to get into, let's say, lifestyle clothing somethings, and you currently teach CapCut tutorials, okay? What if then some of the transitions and things that you're making and explaining how to do include that? Include this outfit and change into another one, but you're teaching people how to do some sort of special effect inside of the video editing program, right? Then later when you introduce more of these clothing type of things, maybe your audience isn't as surprised. It's not as much of a 180 like head scratcher. And it is something that requires, one, a lot of foresight, and two, like in its execution, you have to be expectant that the timeline is going to be longer than you think it is going to need to be to like not right the ship, but like steer it in a new direction, right? And people talk about like the 1 degree turn on a big old rudder on some warship will eventually get that thing like, going in a whole new direction. But it takes a lot of time and forward, momentum to be able to shift that trajectory of a large moving object. That large moving object could be your YouTube channel or, your TikTok audience or whatever else it is. So something to keep in mind. Now, when you are first getting started, there is nothing wrong with trying out a whole bunch of things and then trying to figure out like what actually excites you and what works. And one of the reasons we say that is because, one, you don't want to get too burnt out too quickly on some topic that is just going to be awful for you. But two, you also don't know what you're going to be most excited to make. And you don't get to realize it until you actually try it. And I think that's where some people, they're afraid to experiment. And it goes, like I said, against what a lot of the people are saying, like you should go after this. And I think there's truth to both, okay? Because some of the people who are very, very successful, they plan it out. They're doing their research. They're looking at the buckets that they want to go after. They're researching the audience, and they hit the ground running with a very specific goal roadmap, and like nothing is going to deter them from it. I feel like those channels are fewer and farther in between than the people who are just like, I have this idea. I want to talk about it. I'm not sure how best to do it, but I'm going to try some stuff. Another thing that happens is that you may find that you hate a particular type of video and you hate making it and you hate, the way that it comes across, and you don't want to like go down this road where that kind of style of video or whatever becomes really successful and you're not able to duplicate it or you're not able to separate from it. So I think there is some merit to sometimes just like trying some different things, trying some long form or short form or trying some vlog style, because sometimes you will find something that just really itches that scratch that you need creatively, and sometimes you don't. You know what I'm saying? And we fumble around and we figure it out. I think it's fewer and farther in between that the people are so gung-ho set about, this is my audience and these are who I'm talking to and this is the only types of videos I'm going to make. More power to them. Don't know what that's like. Couldn't tell you. But those people totally exist. So, all right, hold on. I know I missed Dee's slide too. All right, she says, I switched from acrylic pouring to following more of a mixed media path and my channel died. I lost my art heart. Oh no, for a minute too because of, well, life, but I'm rebooting now. See, I love that. Now, one of the other schools of thought is that you can start narrow, and as your audience tends to love you more, they tolerate more of what you're willing to put on your channel that is different from what they may have originally come for. This is more personality style based channels, and what comes to mind or who comes to mind a lot of the time is going to be someone like iJustine. So iJustine originally, talking about her big cell phone bill, she was trying out, like the music video parodies. So before people get all up in arms, she's only been tech. She was doing music parodies, right? Some good stuff in there. And then she, of course, talks about technology, but now, and iPhones, right? But now she talks about laptops and she talks about desktops and she's talking about Sony cameras, and they have the Sony Camp for, all the lenses and the cool things. And, now she has a Cybertruck and she had a Rivian, and as she has gone on, she's gotten to talk about more things that interest her in her life. She had a collaboration with lightsabers. Does anyone remember that? She did a collaboration with a company that did basically replica lightsabers, like with the noises and the lights and everything. It looked really cool. And I was interested, but it was like several $100s, and I was like, look, I really think lightsabers are cool too, but I don't really need one. Okay. But it was cool. right? And then she's reviewing technology like the Aura Ring, and then she's talking about Samsung phones, right? She's doing all of these different things. But at the beginning, she was experimental. And then later on, right, she, as her audience grew and grew to love her, they were able to bring in more of these other things that were part of her life that she cared about, right? So now she's in Hawaii, and then she shared that personal story of her, you know, having basically kind of like the blood clot that happened in her hand. And even now, some of her videos are more like vloggy style, but testing out the technology and, you know, camping out for the night photography type of thing, testing out the Sony cameras. And then she has a good friend, Rosanna Pansino, and they were doing things like testing viral, you know, products or infomercial gadgets or trying to bake a cake without a recipe. And that is not what people signed up for when it was iJustine talking about the cell phone bill or like cell phones. But as people have grown to know her and love her and her personality, she's able to inflect more of that into her own content. And the people who get it, get it. And the people who don't get it, complain about it, right? But it's just an interesting type of trajectory and road that she's gone on. And Becca Fars, I always mess up the last name, how to pronounce it correctly. And it is, let me see here. But she used to work at The Verge, I think it's Farsace, and made a great video, one of her last, or it might have been the last video that she made while she was still at The Verge before she went off to her own YouTube channel, which has already hit over 100,000. And I remember I spoke to Becca at the YouTube event in New York, and I was able to tell her, I was like, you know, I think that your reviews are really good, and if you were afraid to break out on your own, I don't think your audience is going to let you down, because a lot of people who may have been there for The Verge are here for you. And that's what happens when, even though you're reviewing technology, which is like the topic matter, people are interested in her as a presenter. And that was obvious when they then flocked to her new YouTube channel as well. So, hey, come get this commentary. Keep us in the house. How are you? It's great to see you. Great to have you here. So Tish says, I'm thinking of focusing more on my crazy motorhome artist life than the whole tutorial thing, and I'm thinking more broad because my ADHD brain likes all the things. See? Exactly. So as we grow and evolve as humans and topic matter, right, we're like, yes, I could show you some art tutorials, but I want a deeper relationship than that. I want to be able to show you my crazy motorhome life, or I want to, you know, focus on more and broadening that relationship. And then it's more about the, you know, depth versus the breadth. And that is a completely valid way to go. So I commend you on that. So Adam's saying hi, and then, oh, Eva's saying hi too. So I'd like to know, the videos that you make now, and anyone, this is open for anyone to chat about, are the videos that you make now the same topic or people that you originally thought you would be talking to when you uploaded your very first video? Because I have this feeling that most of us have evolved, and it's a new audience at some point. Okay, and I just don't know. Maybe some people are only like deer, or, you know, or the horse with the blinders on, and only that. But I feel like more of us were along the other path, especially if you're here talking to me and tuning in on this live stream and watching what unfolds all the time with the craziness that is like me trying to find anything in meaning in life. I'd love to know. So when you first started, were you thinking one topic, one niche, one group of people, or, you know, what was your thought process? So definitely put that in the chat. So that was actually the separation. Like, were you thinking one topic? Were you thinking one group of people? What were you thinking? Not what were you thinking, but, you know, oh, hello. You guys have a visitor. We have a visitor. Hold on. Hello. Hi, everyone. Cooper says, can you please answer his mom's question? Because, he's curious to know, when you first uploaded your first video, did you think that it was going to be topic specific forever and ever, or group specific forever and ever? And subsequently, are you still talking to the same people or the same topic matter audience? Why are you leaning away from me? That hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings. I'm not smelly. You're smelly. You're smelly. You're always the smelly one. Here. So everyone get a close-up of Cooper as you have to answer the question. So, look, are you just the most handsome floof? You really are. Look at that. Look how handsome you are. My goodness. My goodness. We also found out that the dog groomer at the place where we've been taking them for 4 years now, he retired. And he had, you know, multiple years of experience with grooming these guys. And now, I mean, we could continue to go there, but the lines are obviously a lot longer to get the haircut. But I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with this, like, fussy man. Fussy man. Okay. Home Rapid Repair says, maybe I'm weird. I only wanted to share home improvement advice and how-tos. Okay. And is that true? Has that been true for the entire time that you've been releasing videos? That's the only type of video that you've made? Or, hi, I'm going to put you right here. I'll put you right here and hold you. And Tish says, when I started 5 years ago, it was niched down, so it was acrylic pours only for the longest time. Yeah, and I think that honestly, that was a lot of the advice that was given to us, right? It was go after search content and niche down as small as you can, and then like drive as much traffic and ranking and, you know, credibility by showing up in search. And now, I don't know if that's pushed as hard, but I feel like that was, that was the other point I was forgetting, was that I believe that a lot of the time why a lot of people pushed that for so long was because it was tried and true and proven, right? And it's easy to have these wins to show off in either a Facebook group or a group coaching program. If you say, I made this very obscure topic specific video, and you're like, I'm ranking #1 for that question if it's typed in exactly like this for the few people who are searching for it. And so it was very much like, let's find this topic that has a little like adequate search volume that someone might find, not a lot of competition, right? That was always the thing. Find something. And it still kind of works that way, but now the titles aren't as heavy SEO driven, and it's actually about more intrigue than it is like the SEO heavy thing. But, you know, we were doing everything that we could to try and show in ranking, whether it was, you know, erroneously thinking, what if I just stuff the metadata inside of my title? What if I name my thumbnail this? What if I, you know, throw in everything I can, you know, and then it was really easy to report back to be like, oh my gosh, my video is ranking. This system that I purchased is really working. It's worth the money, right? Anyways, so let's see what we got. Yes, I was going to try and be a family blogger. And I knew I wasn't niche I could stick to, so I changed to a niche that can be different by the hour. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I think you were doing like mukbangs and like shopping hauls, and you had like a lot of stuff going on, right? Like it was like, I feel like there was a lot of stuff that was happening on the channel at the same time, if I remember correctly. So, oh, look, buddy. Cuba says you're cute. Cuba says you're cute. Yay. Okay. And Tish says, I tried other things but didn't do well with those and ended up burning out and thought about doing the poor, maybe nauseous, right? It totally happens where, you know, I said, I don't want to make another iMovie tutorial. I don't want to make another how to make a subscribe button tutorial. I don't want to do that, because we were very topic heavy, right? And then when we tried to do something outside of what our audience knew and it didn't go very well, you'd be like, do I really have to go back to it just to get people to watch my videos, right? It was very much a difficult, that's how it felt. Like we felt prisoner by, I don't want to know if we say the success of the previous topic or videos, and we didn't have like what we felt was the freedom to go out and explore these other things. And so, like I said, sometimes we tried to do drastic changes and then we didn't give it, you know, 6 months. We gave it 2 weeks and we're like, oh, everyone hates it. I better revert back. Abort mission, right? So, Yes, it was vlogging, mukbangs, hauls, and it was a mess for me. Right? And it does go into this whole, like, if I throw too much at one channel, then it's confusing for everyone. I can't sustain it. I'm confused. And so it's hard, right? Because you're like, I'm a complete person and people should want to care about me and know about all these different facets of my life. And it's one of those where it's like, we can bitch about it all we want to and complain about the way things we want them to be, but in reality, yeah, sometimes people just don't care about us enough in the beginning to be having all of those different types of things on the same channel at the same time, you know? And I can be like, I'm a television station like ABC and I can run all these playlists just like different shows, but y'all see how well what that worked out for me too. It didn't, you know? And I feel like a lot of people have that same type of, oh, you're getting wiggly now. Same type of problem, you know? We try and put too much out there at one time and we try and say, well, Justine is doing this, or Alicia Marie does this and a vlogging channel, or, you know, Remy Cruz did this. And you're like, and you forget there was a different type of mentality and audience and everything, the way that they did theirs. You know, they had their whole, not vlog squad, whatever they called it, but like, I think they called it Asian Girl Squad, where it was a whole bunch of fashion and lifestyle people. They were constantly doing collabs with each other so they could break into certain types of content. And they all made the certain types of videos. And so it was a growth strategy where they all did that together versus a lot of us don't have that and we're doing it ourselves. And so a lot of the time the audience is confused. Like, why is this one a mukbang and now it's a vlog and now it's a haul and now it's a... So it's confusing, right? Without either the other cast of characters to bring in their audience to say that this is okay, or... this is why we're moving around topics, all that. Yeah, so it can be tough. Cooper approves, though. He says, you can do what you want because this life is short. I don't know if he said that, but I just wanted to be supportive of you in that moment, okay? By the way, it is Halloween today, and I want to know, are you dressing up as anything? Do you have kids that dressed up as anything? Do you have candy at your house? Also, what kind of candy do you guys? Do you get the good candy so that when you don't get trick-or-treaters, you get to eat it all? Or do you get like bad, crappy candy so you don't feel bad when you just like give a handful of it to kids? Or like, how does that work philosophically in your house? I was telling my husband, I was like, go out and get some candy bars because on the off chance that we have trick-or-treaters, I want to be the house that has, you know, like the candy bars to give them. But then I was just like, did we get any trick-or-treaters last year? No, I don't think we got one, but I want to be prepared. And two, I'm going to make sure we have good candy bars. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, it was vlogging. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now tell me all the things though about your Halloween. Did you dress up in costumes, all the things. So I think I had told you all, but I did go out on Monday and I went to a place that they were doing a Halloween costume thing. I did not participate. I just dressed up as a disgruntled person and it fit like a T. And what's funny, did I tell you all? I'm so mad about it. I went out and then at like 6 o'clock I left and I came home at like 10 o'clock. When I came home, I texted my husband. I was like, something's different. I was like, what'd you do with my scooter? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the scooter's gone from the garage. And he's like, what? And I'm like, the scooter is gone from the garage. Someone stole my scooter, y'all. The one, remember that I was so excited to get my little electric scooter? They took it. And I was so mad. But they were complete about it. Completionist to the core. They took the charger. They took my helmet. They took the little bell bag thing, the phone holder. I mean, they took it all. The bike lock thing that goes with it, which they don't even have the combo for. So unless they're going to sit there and try every combo to see which one, or they just took it because it was part of it, they took the whole thing. And I was so mad about it because also I was planning on using it this week to go down to the office space that I'm always like, yeah, I should go to the office space. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go this week. I'm going to go to the office space. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do all these things. And you know what this tells me? I am just not meant to go to the gym. Okay? That's not what it's telling me. It's telling me, I don't know, apparently I have to lock things in my garage, which you wouldn't think you would need to do. They had to go into the garage to take it. And I'm just really bitter about it. So they took the whole darn thing, y'all. Took the whole shebang. And I'm mad because it wasn't like the cheapest scooter. So then I go look at how much it's going to be to replace it and all that. And I'm just, when you're angry because you've already like, well, one, it's violative in some way. And you're like, I'm not even safe in my own home. But like, you know how mad you are to have to buy it twice? And then, don't tell my husband, but I was looking at different models that like were replacements maybe. And I was this close to buying one. And then I got to the checkout screen, found like a $50 off coupon. It was like a Black Friday, like early sale for Halloween. I was like, okay, fine. Get to checkout. Even though it says that there's free shipping on their website, they charged me $100 for shipping. And that just put the kibosh on it right there. I was like, so you say it's on sale. You say it's on sale for $200 off. Then charge me $100 in shipping. And you're like, make it make sense. And I was so mad about it that I was just like, abandoned cart. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm just mad, y'all. So that's where I'm at. I almost bought a replacement scooter today, but I just couldn't bring myself to pay the extra $100 on shipping, which brought it up to like a super high price again. And I was just like, no. And the same thing happened to me. I was thinking about getting a, no one asked for this story. I was thinking about getting this pair of shoes that are good for dancing. They're like really popular for dancing on like different types of surfaces because they have this pivot point on the toe and the heel to make it so that you can spin easier. Went to check out and then charged $10 for shipping. And I was like, no, out of principle, no. And so I didn't buy the shoes either. I'm just so mad, just in general lately, apparently. So I got anger issues and I'm like, I'm not completing this purchase because you charged me $10 for shipping. But who else is like that? You're like, I was looking at something online and they were like, well, if you spent $5 more, then you get free shipping. So I have to find something that's like $11 so I get my free shipping. And I was just like, you know what? Abandoned cart. Anyways, so that's where I'm at lately, is everything is pissing me off. And I just want my replacement scooter. I want my scooter. I want my scooter. You know what I'm saying? They took the whole thing. I'm so mad about it. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm going to go be ready for, I told my husband, I was like, you should just get me some pastries because when I am in a mood, like you're not mad when you have like croissants and like flaky pastries. And I was like, you better go out and get me a pastry or something because like I might kill someone. I don't mean that for reals, YouTube. Okay. Like, I'm not going to say I'm going to hurt someone, but I'm saying I'm going to get real spicy and have lots to say to people with like the words coming out my mouth because I don't have pastries to calm me down. So I'm just saying, okay? So I was like, if you want to protect yourself from being outside of my wrath, then maybe we should go get some pastries. But what is really stupid about that is all my favorite pastry places are like closed because they're like pastries that close at like 3 or 4 like shops. And I'm just like, anyways, nobody asked about that. Nobody asked about my pastry and anger issues, but I just thought I would share that with you because I overshare. So, do you have to have a niche? Maybe not. You should have maybe a target group of people that you want to talk to. Yeah. One topic, maybe not so much. I mean, because you might go batshit crazy, like thinking that you're trapped in that whole thing about it. And, you never know what could change with that thing, product, service, brand, if you put all your eggs in that one particular basket. So protect yourself. Make the content that you want to, be smart about it, but don't be held hostage by anyone. And at the end of the day, if you don't feel good about it, try a pastry and see and report back if you don't feel a little bit better. Okay? Tell me if you don't feel a little bit better with like a Danish with like the cream cheese and the fruit. I digress. I will see you all next week, and I hope you all have an amazing Halloween and / rest of your week. All right. Bye, everyone.